Greetings, community, and welcome to NCBD Comics and another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 3/26/2025. Here we are once again, and it's great to be alive. I'd like to appreciate and thank those of which that cruising in on the rewind. Without you, it wouldn't be half as much as fun, and without you, oh shucks. It'd just be considerably boring for me. I'm just saying. I do appreciate you and those of which that even hit that little like and or subscribe and give me a comment at the end. I appreciate you once again. Let's start off and talk about IDW. IDW is going to give us Exorcism at 1600 pen, issue number 4. Now, this is a book that started out with issue number 1, giving us a 2-issue launch in there, in the sense of it was a double issue. I believe we're wrapping it up here on issue number 4 because I don't believe they wanted 6 issues or 5. I can't remember. I'm hoping to see what we get on this issue number 4, seriously, because I couldn't remember if this wraps it up or not. I'm anxious to see how it turns out. I've been enjoying the issue so far and the series so far. It is Anna Rose Mays. Did I know first indie that she was doing it by herself, and I really been liking how the art has been coming across as far as what's been depicting on her writing. I like the direct reflection of what's going on. At first, in my opinion, the first issue started off rather slow, which again was 2 issues, and then issue number 2 really started picking it up. So I really like the momentum that it was building, and I'm a little confused if this, like I stated, is the ending of the series or not. So I'm anxious to see where this takes us. Exorcism at 1600 pen, issue number 4, coming out to 3/26/2024. 5. Haha. Yeah, 3. Already 3 months into 25. Moving on from Exorcism at 1600 pen and talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Naruto. Yeah, it's still taking me a little while to get used to saying that. I'm not really in the anime, although this has really been, if nothing else, a thorough understanding and education into this character. I've really been enjoying how this crossover is. And as I made mention before, I'm a sucker for crossovers. One, it allows me to go ahead and delve into other series or other characters that I'm usually not that familiar with, or even in the case that I'm totally in love with both, it allows me to go to see how they're going to go ahead and make these characters interact or end the series. So I really enjoy not only these type of concepts, but how this one in particular is coming off. It's really been enjoyable for me. It's nothing that's going to go ahead and change your life. At the same point, I highly recommend it because it's thoroughly enjoyable. We're sitting only in issue number 3. I highly recommend picking up the first 2. And yeah, if you're in either one of these series, either in the anime of Naruto or I kind of said it, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, highly recommended because of the crossover is just not only phenomenal but fun. Moving out from IDW and let's cruise over to Image Studios because we're going to talk about Department of Truth issue number 29. Here we are breaking down some more Department of Truth. Finally, it's been on a almost regular release once again, and yeah, this has been one of those series by Tynion that's been probably one of the most ongoing outside of what is that? Something That's Killing the Children. And in my opinion, to me, it's been thoroughly more enjoyable. It delves into a lot of those hypotheticals and it goes ahead and play with those scenarios in which that we've always had questions as far as those in which that want to go ahead and play around with a little bit of the conspiracies. And if you want to take the philosophies of certain Eastern ideas to the nth degree and go ahead and allow your thoughts turn into true manifestations, then here we are with a combination of both that go ahead and just have some type of fantasy idea of the breakdown, the reality in which that we live in between the politics that we're playing in as far as the world is concerned. That's the only way I can almost break down the Department of Truth because of how much thickness of all kinds of stuff that they throw in this big old pot and stew it up, because there's a lot of elements in there, but the elements are so thick I like the fact that they really don't break down too much, because then they don't allow you to go ahead and overanalyze certain aspects of it, and allows you to just go ahead and be a little bit more of a passenger than trying to be a little over analytical. Department of Truth for me is just it's purely fun, because I don't really get into these conspiracy theories, but at the same point, it's fun to go ahead and say, what if? So that's why I like this series. If nothing else, it's just a whole lot of fun to play passenger on this airplane. Department of Truth, issue 29, coming out 3/26, 2025. Hey, Tony, how you do? I am. I didn't. So are you, you beautiful bastard. All right, let's move on for Department of Truth 29. It's talking about Pharaoh issue number 11. Here we are. We got a couple of our heroes, let's call them survivors, that finally found one of the friends, but they're not quite what they used to be. Much like what we get when we end up finding one of those survivors, or not quite survivors, that got bit in Walking Dead. That's where we are with one of the rabid friends, and he's not looking so good. We feel really bad for the whole scene and the whole scenario coming up in this issue number 11, and you knew it was bound to happen. This series overall rips out my heart, and Tony, you're doing such a wonderful job on this writing. It's just killing me, and I love it. It just hurts, and I appreciate it. I can't get enough, and I wish you would stop, though. If you did stop on the series, I'd probably want to come after you too. So keep doing what you're doing, Tony Fleets, and everyone else. I appreciate what you do on this overall series. Feral, issue 11 coming out, but man, it just feels like, because of how well this is written and how heavy this is into the heart, it's dredging. It's heavy. It's there's so much pain and sorrow that even when they make it out of some pretty dire situations and you feel pretty good for them, they always just land in some other phenomenally more terrible situation that you just, oh yeah. I love this series. I can't get enough. And Pharaoh issue 11 is coming out tomorrow, and I can't wait to get that thing in my hands. Moving on from Pharaoh, and let's move over to These Seasons, issue number 11. Here we are with a mystery series that is about a girl trying to find not only and help her sisters, but her mother and father too. Rick Remender's doing a wonderful job in this series. I believe, in my opinion, it's far, far too underappreciated, underrated, and underspoken about. I believe down the road it would be one of those books that you'll have individuals talk about or develop groups around and have discussions about in about a year or two, when this series is really fully developed and people are missing it. So I believe The Seasons is one of those things that people are just missing out at the moment and will greatly appreciate down the road. I'm really liking the series, and I can't wait to get to issue number 3 in my hands. What the hell am I talking? Let's move on from The Seasons and let's cruise over to Universal Monsters, The Mummy, issue number 1. We've been cruising through a few of these classic monsters stories, and what I really been like enjoying about all this stuff, as opposed to just liking about it, is the fact that we're getting a retelling and almost a reboot of these monsters, but still paying homage to the original series and an understanding of what these series were really trying to depict, and, in my opinion, really trying to convey as far as a feeling and an understanding of really what the writer's trying to get across to the reader, which is, in many cases, you want to feel sorrow or empathy or some type of compassion for those in which that are the monsters, and not necessarily, how should I say, separate yourself and just look at them as purely as things that they hate. What I've been enjoying about the series so far, and what I hope to see in this Mummy, which I more than likely is going to be the case, is how they end up humanizing these monsters to where you care for them. So even though that they're going through, which you know the inevitability of these characters are to ultimately normally have their peril, you feel a little sorrow for those things, which truly is a better telling of these stories than just allowing yourself to look at as them and us and separate yourself in that way. The compassion really holds the story better, in my opinion, for the reader to enjoy. than it does in some regards the way it was originally written or and somewhat interpreted as. I really been enjoying these series so far, and I can't wait to get to this one in particular because The Mummy is just one of those I'm really unfamiliar with. So Universal Monsters, The Mummy issue number 1 coming out tomorrow by Image on 3/26/2025. Let's move over and talk to and about Void Rivals and how their influence is so far on how we're understanding both the Transformers and G.I. Joe. Void Rivals has finally given us a really deeper understanding about the characters in which that are directly related to the Void Rivals, which are these two faction groups of individuals that essentially are from the same beings. They're just apart for so long that, all right, so they throw a little different gem in their head and they have slightly, a different makeup on their body only because of where they're at in relation to one another in a particular part of the their own solar system on this gigantic wheel hub station. Come on, sphere? I think that's what it is. Yeah, let's go with that one. Which Void Rivals to me is just one of those hard and heavy impacting stories that allows us to have a better understanding and is the hub to both Transformers and G.I. Joe. And when we get to the Energon, which is going to happen in only a little more than 2 months from now, when we both hit Free Comic Book Day and after, then we're going to have even a deeper understanding of how all this stuff kind of originated right after Cybertron leaped over to this area, over into this Void Rival area, and then hopped over into the area in which that we're known now with some things scouting out in the outskirts. That's what's given us a better understanding by reading Void Rivals, and I'm really loving this series. And here we are at issue number 18, and I can't get enough. Can't wait to get this thing in my hands. Trav, how you do, buddy? Hope all is well with you. Appreciate you being here. All right, let's move out from Void Rivals and Image altogether and talk about Vault. Yeah, it's been quite some time, and one in particular talking about Money Shot, Big Bang, issue number, I want to say big, but it's actually issue number 0. I'm still calling it the Big O. Of 5. Here we are getting a 6-issue mini. And it's co-written by some individuals that I really been digging on. Oswald is on, I want to say the 1 and 5 issue on this book that I couldn't get, but I can't wait to get a hold of this thing and start reading it. I did pre-order it. I'm waiting it to come on in. It's going to be a solid month until it does, but that doesn't mean I can't wait to get my hands on this book. Money Shot is one of my most favorite of those exotic style books that is out there that I not only enjoy reading because it actually has a funny and good storyline, but of course for the obvious of how the art is and depicts the women. The sensuality of the book. Vault, keep doing what you're doing when it comes to this particular series, and I can't get enough, and I can't wait to go ahead and get my filthy little greasy hands on this book. And all right, let's move out from Money Shot because we're getting a big bang out of that one. And let's cruise over to Marvel. I can't help myself, seriously. Marvel's going to go ahead and give us... Oh, wait. Before I get to that, I want to go ahead and say yes. To many shops that are out there right now, anything after 6:08 p.m. and many of the shops, some of the shops are joining in on some Batman festivities. There is a pre-launch for Batman at some locations, and some of the places that have these pre-launch items, one in particular, look like this. This is a glow-in-the-dark Batman. Hush. And when it gets all darky nighttime, there's a bunch of stuff on there that go ahead and glows. This is to the new Batman that's coming out. What is that? Issue 150, 160? I thought it was, yeah, it is 158. So this is the pre-launch book. Hey, Christine, I hope you're doing well. That's the glow-in-the-dark version. There is also, at the time, if you go to some shops and or if you ask the shops that participated in the event, They also did receive the 159 ash can. So you might want to hit up your shop for that too. All right, so it looked like this. All right. And again, those are happening right now because of the launch of Hush for 158. There's major signing events happening around town. I'll try to report to you and might even actually go ahead and do a little bit of video and show you what that looks like on 3/26/2025 at a couple of locations that I'll try to get to tomorrow. All right, back to over from DC, talking about Marvel, and they're going to go ahead and bring to us Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 70. Oh, wow. I'm way out of, okay. I'm out of sorts. Sorry, people. Ah. All right, I'm back with you. What they'll have and what they do have is they got some more rival covers. I've been getting these things for Kai. He's been digging them. I've been digging them. They're kind of cool. I'm just saying. This ends it for the series. In the sense of Amazing Spider-Man will go ahead and it's supposedly not asked to be considered a reboot at issue number 1, even though, I mean, come on. It's supposed to be a direct continuation, even though they want to go ahead and throw a slap at number 1. We all know why they throw number 1s on there. It's a minimum of 367% increase in sales. I'm just saying, the average person tends to buy 3 to 4 books of a number 1 as opposed to another series. So, I want to go ahead and squash that and say I'm still going to go ahead and buy as many as 3 covers minimum on the issue number 70. Just to prove them. And yeah, that's the 125. I'm looking forward to not only reading that, I can't wait to get into that. Not only was the 8 deaths of Spider-Man, in my opinion, really good, but the setup is what they're doing for this whole Doom thing was not too bad. They did a pretty good segue, in my opinion, and I can't wait to go ahead and get my hands on issue number 70 because really, it's been good. I can't wait to see where they go from here. Let's move out for Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 70. How you doing, Mark? Hope all is well with you. Appreciate you being here, brother. And let's talk about Doom Academy, issue number 1. All right, Doom Academy. Did I say 1? Issue number 2, I think it is. Yeah, Doom Academy, issue number 2. Yeah, the setup was pretty good. We knew that was going. We saw it happening when it happened with this whole blood hunt thing, and Doom was coming in there to save us. We knew that it was a bit set up when he went over to Doom Academy and he went over to talk to the kids over at Strange Academy. We knew all this was happening. It was just now we're seeing what the results are, and I really been enjoying how this is. I'm looking forward to go ahead and reading further into this, and I've been enjoying it so far. Doom Academy issue number 2 coming out to you and me. Moving up from that, let's talk about Doom Division issue number 1. They also have some rival covers. This is another one I'm thoroughly, looking forward to jumping into. They do, I believe, have a new character. It's being introduced in this thing, or at least a new formation of a new team. I don't want to get too much more into this, though. Yeah, these characters are pretty cool. I don't play this game, but Kai does, and I watch them, and they're cool characters. I really been enjoying the whole Rivals covers, and yeah, they offer a different look. It's kind of peach, but it isn't. It's definitely watercolory, but I don't know. I like the colors, and more times than not, they're a little more pastel than they are vibrant, and it's kind of cool. So, all right. Anyways, that's Doom Division issue number 1. Also coming out on 3/26/2025. Let's move out from that and talk about Godzilla versus Fantastic Four issue number 1. King Ghidorah is the Herald for Galactus. Am I getting this right? Am I hearing? My understanding is that that's what's going on in here. And oh wow, this is awesome. This is okay. I'm in. What else do I have to say? When you talk about anyways, Godzilla, and then working with a team like Fantastic Four, this is going to be awesome. Really, there's not much more to say. If you're not a fan of either one, then this is definitely not for you. But if you're a fan of definitely either or. This is going to be awesome. So moving out from Godzilla versus Fantastic Four issue number 1. Let's talk about Incredible Hulk issue number 23. I've really been enjoying the series. You're not hearing all that overhypeness about the series. In my opinion, it's probably those that are reading it are loving it. it's probably one of the best ongoing series as far as Marvel is concerned that is out there. It's in my top 10 as far as Marvel is concerned, and I've really been digging it. Also, they do have more rival, even for the Hulk on this one. And look at that. That's that's wicked. Just saying. That's pretty wild. Keep them up with the rival stuff. Just saying. I've been really digging it. All right, let's move out from the Incredible Hulk, issue number 23. Really been in so far a great series. I really like how Hulk is having so much love and compassion for a little girl he barely even knows, and now that she's acquired this lichen skin and the stuff that she's been going through right now, I think she's been rethinking this whole thing through and now understanding exactly what Bruce has been going through along Hulk himself, and the conflict in which that they have has really been playing a part in the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 issues in this series, and it's just been awesome. Really, it's just been awesome. Moving out from the Incredible Hulk, issue number 23, and let's talk about Infinity Watch, issue number 3, because I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. Issue number 1 was pretty good. Issue number 2, I went, wait, I got you, but I'm looking forward for 3 to kind of. You better be good, 3, because I mentioned I kind of like 1. I guess what I'm saying, I really didn't like what was going on in 2. Maybe I have to reread 2. I don't know. I'm looking forward to issue number 3 to go ahead and pull all this stuff together, because I like a lot of the characters that are in this whole Infinity Watch. I really do. I'm just not. I don't know. I know that the story has potential. I like the story. I really do. I just something about it. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this thing to go ahead and pull everything together, because I know that there's a story there, and I don't know if it's just me not seeing it, but I've been enjoying it to a regard. I just don't understand. I've been reading a lot of books. I've been busy too, so maybe that's what it is. I just got to head and put it together myself. But I'm looking forward to getting a hold of Infinity Watch issue number 3 to kind of, like I said, bring it all together for me. Moving out from Infinity Watch, what I am looking forward to getting. And let's cruise over to the Ultimate Spider-Man, issue number 15. I thought I got one in here. No, I guess I didn't. I've really been enjoying this series. As far as, and I keep saying this every time, the Ultimate series has been considered. I've really been enjoying this the most. Then the Ultimates, right behind it, with the newest and recent introduction of Ultimate Wolverine, which I'm a Wolverine fan, but this one, oh my God. This is out. This is Ultimate Wolverine. Even if you're a remote Wolverine fan, even regular, average, just run of the mill, below average like me, then you'll really dig this series. Seriously, this is Ultimate. This is awesome. This is exactly what I think of when I think of a machine, a killing thing, and yeah, this is awesome. Ultimate Wolverine, even though I got a small taste of what the series is supposed to be, is going to play, in my opinion, a major factor of what we're going to get in this series when it comes to its head. What is that? When we get to the end of November, this is going to be amazing. So I can't wait to go ahead and see how this turns out when we get there. So again, Ultimate Spider-Man 15 has just been awesome, and Ultimate Wolverine issue number 3 is coming out tomorrow on 3/26. 2025. I just can't wait to get on and read all this stuff. However, you know what time it is? And here we are once again, moving out from Marvel Studios over in Oni Press. They're going to give us a book that I've been waiting for about 3 months. I don't know quite if it's just the atmosphere, the environment, or what's been going on in the times, but there's this one book, and I just really been anticipating, which is Free for All. This is a one-shot from Patrick Horvath that when I initially saw the pitch, I was like, I'm all in. Seriously. Free for All is a story of there is a group out there that forces billionaires to either one, forfeit everything or go to jail, or they can go ahead and fight for the right to retain their, I guess, gluttonous amounts. So billionaires, trillionaires, anybody over a certain amount of money go into a lottery system and they have to fight it out. And if they win, well, they move on to kind of like a next round type thing. Now, what I really enjoy about this thing is it really is a very political, a very social, a very in your face kind of statement. And above all that, it really does, I guess, reflect for the small individual that all they can do is either vote or, to turn to the choir that is next to them and preach to it, or in the case of some unwittingly bastard that might be next to him, have to deal with somebody yelling at them for whatever decisions that they made in life. This kind of speaks in many regards to many people that can't go ahead and speak on the behalf of themselves and feel this way in many regards, that they would love to see in which those who go ahead and profit off those who wish to work their asses off for a whole lifetime be held accountable for their actions at times. And I believe that that's the overall message that is given into this book. And I can't wait to get into it just to see how it turns out, because damn, it's going to feel interesting and good to go ahead and get a little catharsism out of this book. It really is. And I can't wait to get into it. For those that go ahead and went through this catharsis with me. Oh, whoa. Tony, I appreciate you. Christina, I appreciate you as always. Mark, you're awesome. I appreciate you, buddy. Seriously. There's a couple others in here. Oh, yes. Trev. Most def. Don't want to forget you, buddy. I appreciate you. Anyone else that I may have missed and or cruising in on the rewind, I appreciate you greatly. And that's it for me. Entropy. You stay well. Take care.